been teaching Barre for the last 6 months in the western suburbs of Melbourne. It's been a challenging process because no other place has taught Barre in this area. So I've been educating people about the benefits and holistic nature of Barre. It's been an amazing and fun journey. I have a background in fitness and yoga, and I've trained for the last 2 years with a martial artist. So movement and function of the body is very, very important to me. I'd like to take you now on a journey and show you the class that I like to teach with the beautiful people that have supported me.
The warm-up's part of the class where I like to spend a bit of time to make sure the fascia is released and the muscles are heating up. I like to do a lot of dynamic stretches that aim to loosen and lengthen as much of the body as possible. The oblique twists work the sling muscles in the obliques, which help to strengthen the muscles in the transverse plane of movement. This is perfect for developing a strong core and setting a great, stable foundation for future movement. Lunges are one of my favourite movements in Barre because we work so many muscle groups. So adding a tricep press works multiple muscle groups and develops core strength, while working all the leg muscles in a static way. This begins to create a stretch in the fascia of the hips, preparing the body for a deeper movement. I absolutely love the challenge of the single leg fly. It's amazing for shifting the center of gravity and adapting the core and hips to stronger movement. It reminds me of flying, and it's one of my absolute favorites. Here, I explain that we firstly need to lift through the chest and tuck in the rib cage to remove any arching in the back. The shoulders will automatically come back, and it will give us really good, strong posture. I explain it as being able to hug a ball. We bring our arms out wide and we extend from the elbow, creating length. With a stable core, we can turn the knee out in line with the arms, then draw everything back into the center. It's such a beautiful, strong movement. Whenever we work with the arms above the head, we're always exerting more energy. So here you'll see the shoulders coming up over the head and with a nice bent elbow. This overhead movement challenges our core in various ways, especially with the option to bring the knee to the chest. This reminds me more of a traditional ballet move. Attitudes here are performed with a long spine. It begins to create more isolation in the glutes and the hamstrings. Here, you'll see me teaching a class about how to activate those muscles. I'm quite concerned with people injuring their knees by totally locking out at the joint. And to encourage students, I want them to soften and absorb more tension into their big supporting muscles. As you might see, some of the students who are a little bit more advanced take the option of coming up into a releve as well. The students bring their knees up towards their chest and then straight back in a nice line with the body and the hip. I try to get them to not move around too much through the hips and the back to create a stronger core and better alignment and strength in the legs. The lateral leg movement helps to build up the muscles down the side of the leg. I try to teach my students that they need to keep the leg locked out and the bottom knee nice and soft so that you don't hyperextend through the knee joints. A lot of my students commonly start to lean into the bar and they hold on for dear life, and I tell them that, you know, this is only going to make your practice a little bit weaker. So what we want to do is we want to lift and lengthen through the side of the body, and we want to create a slight compression through one hip and length through the other. So I try to teach them to move their body a little bit more to the side that the leg's moving upward on, and this seems to help them get a little bit more of a rhythm. I absolutely adore this wide leg squat or position 2, where we come down and we pulse. I teach the students to create good posture from the hip up by lifting and lengthening through the chest and the sternum, rolling the shoulders back, and then sinking deep into those muscles of the legs. I love these little tiny releves on a single leg. With just that little lift of the heel, we sink deeper into the hips, and we start to feel the backs of those legs burning. My preference is to finish the class on the ground. A little bit of a yoga principle where we come back for grounding. We also do quite a bit of core work at the end of class, which doesn't always make me super popular. So we do some things like some core work where we come up into our high plank and we create good positioning with the hips and the shoulders, where we stack the shoulders over the wrists and lift up the core muscles. We drop the knees one at a time to start to build transverse abdominal muscles. Then we'll go into our core lift, which involves us lifting up through the ribs and rounding up. Then we jump out from the hips, which isolates those lower abdominal muscles again. Then we flip over into our, well, I call them a single leg crunch, where we reach across and we keep that bottom leg nice and strong. And then we finish up with a good old tabletop crunch. And by then everybody's ready to stretch out.
Hi, I'm Keely, and I teach Barre for Keely Marie Personal Transformations. At this stage, I've been teaching Barre for the last 6 months, and I've been bringing it to the west of Oopsie. That's okay. We'll do that next time. Let's do some core. Yes, core.
Oppan Gangnam Style.